arrived in Stockholm. The airport is huge, but they didn't do any like checks or anything. So like we literally got off the plane and literally walked through, and then went to get on our bus. We're taking the bus from the airport, Arlanda, to the main city centre. Like no passports were checked, no customs. Like there was nothing to declare, but we went through nothing to declare, and no one even like put us aside. Stay tuned. Hopefully this is just the normal situation because it's like a Schengen area. But we are now on our way to the centre of Stockholm. It was a really lovely flight. It was very clean. I fell asleep. Very super clean, super spacious. I moved to a whole row for myself. And so I can't really speak too much of the flight because I was asleep. But the views were great. And it's currently like I think 10 degrees maybe or less, but it's sunny, but it's cold. But now we're on our way. And I'll update you because I might have another nap. Also, the bus costs like 35 something for a return for 2 people. So I think the bus costs like £10 roughly. Just under £10 each way. And then there's like a train, and then there's like a fast train. The fast train is like nearly 30 quid.
Jag går till Stockholm City och tar cirka 45 minuter. Det är ett säkerhet och det är säkerhetsspel.
Is it nice?
The cookie from the Crumble Bakery, and I'm going to use this hot like gooey, like proper cookie dough. Look at that. Okay.
How is it?
Very soft.
Can you describe it in 3 words?
Soft, not too sweet. It kind of melted, like you know when brown sugar kind of like melts in a spoon, like that. Yeah, it was really good. Try some. Wet. Try some.
I should try a tiny bit, if that's okay. Just like, yeah. Oh, thank you.
Gracias.
Oh my god.
So after enjoying those delectable cookies, we joined a walking tour that we had booked on a few days prior. Now this was a tour of Gamla Stan, which is the historic area. It's the one that you see in pictures when you search Stockholm. Now our host was really knowledgeable, she was really excitable, she was full of facts, and she seemed really passionate. The tour was about 2.5 hours, and we definitely got the most out of what we donated in the end. And she was super lovely, super sweet, but we did feel as though the tour went on a little bit too long, and it was a little bit more in depth than we would have liked to, but it was really nice because we got to see and learn a few different things, and also we got to be out in the Stockholm sunshine. There was this alleyway which is meant to be a really small alleyway, and she said if you can touch both sides I'll buy you a pastry. I did touch both sides all the way down, however there was people in the way, so I didn't actually do it properly, so I didn't get anything.
Yeah, I also tried to touch bottles, but they ruined everything standing in the hallway.
But then we ended off in the historic centre of Gamla Stan, which is the thing you see on all the postcards, on all the pictures. We've just left our hostel 1 to go to our next accommodation because we could only book this accommodation for this day and we really wanted to do it. It's going to be another video, so it'll probably come out after this vlog. But last night we came up to the meatball place. The meatballs were 10 out of 10, delicious, great. We got ready, went out again to this one bar. The vibe here, everyone says the vibe isn't really here, but the club we went to, the bar we went to was pretty nice. But one like vodka lemonade cost like 50 quid, so we had that, and then we had beers, and Nikki had strongbow. And then we came home at like 2:30, went to bed, and then got up at 9 because we had to check out this hostel. Left our bags, went for breakfast this morning, which was really good, and then to this viewpoint, and then I went for fika, and Nikki went to see some secret gardens that weren't so secret because they did exist. And we went for lunch at this vegan restaurant, and the food was like 10 out of 10. We're now on the bus to our next accommodation, which we're staying at till tomorrow, and then we're coming back into the city centre and staying in a hostel again. The hostel we stayed at was City Backpackers. I personally wouldn't recommend. There's not really a vibe. Reception closes at 4. I'll ask Nikki's opinion later, but we're having some quiet time. Nikki's over there listening to her music. I'm telling you about our quiet time. I'm going gonna kind of end off Stockholm now and then re-pick it up again, so there'll be a gap, but this isn't the end of the video, but I'll pick up in tomorrow. Also, the vegan restaurant we went to, I would recommend getting one plate and pretending that only one person is eating and then splitting it, because it's one, cheaper, two, there's a lot of food. So yeah, top tip. I will see you for the main Stockholm remainder vlog tomorrow. So after our little excursion out of Stockholm city centre, we came back for our penultimate day. We then went for a glass of wine near the Old Town. After that, I parted ways with Nikki and she went to the ABBA Museum, and I went to see my friend who I went to university with. I was listening to Break My Soul on the way down. The sun was shining, the wind was blowing, and I just felt so at peace and so at ease. We had to catch up over a couple of beers. I hadn't seen my friend since 2019, so that's a good 3-4 years. It was really nice to see her again, and then afterwards I headed back to my hostel where me and Nikki were getting ready to go out for dinner and drinks. So after my little karaoke session in the lift, we got changed and then headed out. We were going to this area of Stockholm called Östermalm. We went to this bar called Gemma, and it was very cozy, very small and compact. The array of drinks on offer and the bar setup, it was all very intimate, cozy, very fun. It felt like a little scientist's shop. We ordered 2 drinks and then we had a dinner reservation pretty soon after, so we had to down our drinks, and that was the first mistake because then we were tipsy. Then we went for dinner at this place called the Asian Post Office. Food was insane and the drinks were insane as well, but this cost like nearly 100 quid. And then afterwards, I got into a bit of mischief. So, guess what I stole? From the wall, I literally peeled it off, but there's another one. So come with me on a little trip to see the poster that everyone I've been literally searching all my life for. I saw the one that was on the wall over there. Oh, someone moved it up.
Huh?
Someone moved that poster up. Wait.
No, you got it off that one. Yeah, no, you got it off that one. That was the door.
Oh my God, was there a homeless person underneath it before?
No, you didn't just stop. See the person around here.
I didn't do it at hostel tour earlier.
Best day ever.
There's no one in this bunk, and Nikki's there, I'm there. This is a hostel tour anyway. Okay, so let me give you a proper... Sorry, Nikki's in the way.
Just touched.
So you come into the door, and then on your left you have these compartments, which are pretty cool. Then you have this massive mirror. You have the toilet, which is like automatic light turning on. A shower, a toilet with a spray bum gun, which is pretty cool. Black tea tree, like green tea hand wash, which is pretty nice. And then you have a mirror here as well.
A Nikki.
And then you have a Nikki bed at the bottom.
A Nikki bed.
And then there's another one at the top which has no one on, which we thought there would be. And then mine's over there because I requested that.
So glad there's no one in here.
I literally can go to the toilet without fear of judgment. No one's up there. But I also got Beyonce's favourite number, so I feel like the universe is in my sign. Also, really scary thing last night. Anyway, what I was saying before my phone died, because I have no storage, is that last night my phone died when I was outside on my own, and my phone died. And then it came to life just as I was trying to get back in the building. It came back to life enough time for me to look at the code, and then it died straight after. I don't know what kind of voodoo scary stuff that was. Our final day, we got up pretty early because our flight was meant to be at 5 p.m. in the afternoon, so that would mean we'd have to get to the airport about 3 o'clock. So we had about 6-7 hours to spend, and we had a few bits left that we wanted to do. So for breakfast, we went to Lilleborg's Bakery, which was recommended to me by Topjaw, these 2 guys that I watch on YouTube that do food videos. Absolutely insane. Pastries were so good. I had this bun, which was divine. And then we went to another bakery, which is like a chain. And then afterwards, we headed to the Vasa Museum. I'm a big history fan, so I was very excited to do this. And this was on the top of my list. You're going to see some videos and clips on screen of the actual ship, but I'm just going to give you a little bit of information. So it costs 190 SEK per adult to get in, so that's about £14.23. This is the best preserved 17th century ship in the world. More than 98% of this ship is original. And this ship sank in 1628 on its maiden voyage in the Stockholm harbour because of a small gust of wind. It was salvaged 333 years later in 1961, and you can see on screen at one point how they managed to do that. So the museum has the ship on display, and then other exhibitions include life on board, the historical context, and how they recovered it. It's a pretty neat museum, and it's not too expensive, so if you're a history fan, I definitely recommend. But also just seeing such an authentic ship in person and seeing how grand it was pretty insane. After we did that, we left and we went to one of the metro stations that was recommended. Stockholm has so many metro stations and we didn't have time to do all of them. We managed to do 2 and we stopped at the rainbow one. Blue like the soul I crowned, purple drink a cold gals, 4 faces shade on me, blue, black, white and brown, paint the town red like cinnamon, yellow lemons, lemon, jelly, red, would you like to in the streets, Renaissance, young and breathe. And then we headed to the airport because our flight was meant to be leaving, but our flight actually ended up being delayed by like an hour to 2 hours. I can't even remember. We landed a lot later than we thought we would. Nikki had to rush off and I had to get home, and it was raining. I was tired, I was stressed. So here's me the next day, a little bit more composed, put my magnets on the wall. But all in all, Stockholm was fantastic. I think Stockholm is a little bit cheaper than Oslo. However, the nightlife isn't really there, but there's a lot more to do in Stockholm. I had a really good time. I had got to see my friend from uni. We did a lot of different things. We ate a lot of good food. I wish we had longer if we had a bigger budget, but the weather was fantastic as well, and we got to see and do so much stuff in the amount of time we were there. Kind of wish we did have longer in Stockholm. I feel like there was a lot more to do, a lot more chill stuff to do in terms of just like laying around in the park, seeing the different areas. 4 days probably wasn't enough, so I would happily go again. I had a fantastic time. So that is the end of the Stockholm vlog. I really hope you enjoyed it.